it'd be a good exercise to do this with like all of the spirits eventually.
It's very interesting talking about the qualities of like the mermaids compared to the mermen are very different.
Super different.
And they have such a
like because the mermaids are like the mermaids that we talk about, they're like queens, but the merman had like more knight quality to them, like a knight of.
True.
Not necessarily a king-like quality to them, though some of them probably are kings of the realm, I guess, right?
I think they're designated their hierarchical title. Not in relation to human terms, but in relation to their terms and their qualities, yes, absolutely.
You can instantly, with auras, sense who's got the more experience and authority and perception, and people who don't have that level tend to just align themselves with the purposes of the others, because the one with the greater awareness and influence and depth of wisdom, you know, like in Tolkien, you know, there's a difference between running into a girl and running into whatever those Elven queens.
Galadriel?
Yeah, you sense right away you're something going on there. So okay, Istiphul.
Okay.
Much more lunar and
yeah, she's way more lunar, like, and I see her much more like a fae creature, you know, but she's still very watery. She feels a little like younger and more innocent in a way than Istiphul, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just as wise, like she would be like the same age, but
Mm-hmm.
just feels a little bit younger, more innocent, but she's even almost wiser, and she feels like she has a little bit more of a motive or a purpose. Whereas Istiphul is like more receptive and flowing. Istiphul is as well, but she has more drive to do something.
Mm-hmm. There's some sort of mission to accomplish.
Yeah. And she's very playful.
Yes. Flirty at times.
Flirty at times. Almost like a little sportier too.
But terribly, incredibly serene and peaceful.
So beautiful. Like, and she has like an innocent beauty about her.
Like liquid moonlight.
That's exactly it. Like if I see the reflection of the moon on a river or on a lake, that's exactly what I get from her. Very much so. And I see like the qualities that she possesses and the peacefulness. But also like her just because she has peace doesn't mean that it's not powerful. Because there's much power behind her. It's just very, very serene and like you know, away. And when she needs to use it, she'll just bring it out. very much more cronish. Like very much more dark or like of a nightly flavor. But
she's bright. She herself is bright, but around her is like dark.
Totally. And it's not darkness in the way of like dark is a negative. It's just that energy, the energy that I'd say that is, like I say, if you see the moon on a lake or on shining off the ocean, that's exactly like the energy that she has. It's silver, you know, luminescence, and it's really, it's gentle, but it's also very, very expansive when it needs to come into play. And it's very, very gentle and serene, but at the same time, when it has something to do or it needs to get done, there is an object and that power gets used.
So for me, when I first contacted the former one, it was like, I'll never meet a woman that's beautiful. And then the refrain was, life is full of surprises. And with this one, it's like the human race has this kind of, is haunted by a kind of loneliness and feeling of separation. And this was the gift the human race was meant to receive, but it never got it. So she embodies the very serenity and inner peace that the human race lacks and will always be incomplete as a race until they internalize Isaphil, what she is, or the gift she has to give, you know, which is that with Istiphul, it's like, here's the oneness and the attraction that overcomes all separation, so you can feel one in a sacred space where you're one with another being. Here, it's the serenity is so great, the inner peace so complete, you have an inner oneness with the universe.
I've never really ever talked or had experience with a spirit that really plays upon one of my qualities, but she definitely has the qualities that I possess, in the sense of being serene and at peace at all moments in time. You know, like if just that Zen peacefulness, you know, where it's just like you're so receptive at any moment. If something gives you somebody, you could instantly, like, it's instantly magnetic, and you can like give it back, because all you are is a reflection or a mirror. That quality, I think her and I possess very similar, the same quality. And I'd say Istiphul and myself, we're very, very different. But Istiphul and myself, we're very similar in that respect. And there's such power within that silence, and such power within that peace. And it's just there, and then it could be like 10 million times more than what it is in a single moment.
So it's like Istiphul is the embodiment of Venus. This spirit is Isaphil is the embodiment of the moon. And the problem with that, from if you're trying to help a civilization evolve, is that if you don't have the inner peace, you get total extroverts who go around destroying things, and themselves included. If you have too much inner peace, where I feel one with the universe, it's like you exclude a race like human beings even appearing on Earth, because this race needs the feeling of separation and task-oriented and invention. And I think in my story, it was just basically, you know, if you have too much of her presence on Earth, you'd never have a human race. Other beings would come through and incarnate here, and you'd exclude one of the children of the planet. The human race was meant to have the experience of being on Earth. So it's like Barton can say, you know, the feeling of love is dangerous, but here it's like your race has to become very mature in order to internalize what this mermaid queen is able to give.
Very true.
And until you have that wisdom that you must know your inner self as well as you know the outer world, until the human race says that is essential, they aren't going to be ready for her, because you just, the self and ego cannot exist within this level of inner peace and contentment.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, why any magician should be able to say, oh, the moon, right, I'm going to work on the moon, and they all go together, Earth, Moon, you know, Mercury, Venus, Sun, you know, out to Saturn, Uranus. It's a whole, you know, whole spectrum, and I want to play the whole piano, you know. But if you get stuck in one area of the inner peace, it's like you just, and that's part of the problem, if I can say that. Gabriel is so powerful in some of the Islamic temples that you come out, you do the ritual, and you come out on the street, and it's like the world is so wrong. You know, I can't deal with this world. You need more Michael or Merman to say, what's the job, and let's do it, you know. Okay, we have this problem, let's just solve it, you know. But this is just, it steals that willingness to, the Aries just can't survive in this vibe. There's no Aries like, you know, give me the problem and I'll solve it. You know, there's no will.
The problem and the solving is just completely not there. It's not even part of the equation with that. It's just completely, it just moves, and it just
is.
It just goes to where it needs to go, and it just gets it done. There's not even a question of like thinking or like when or what needs to happen. It's just, it goes, it finds its route naturally, and it will seek exactly what it needs in order to fulfill its task. But it's very gentle. It's incredibly gentle at points, you know.
But I can see where I would need this just to get rid of the frustration and irritation and all the trauma of having experienced life as a human being. It's nice to kind of slip into a place where all that exists is the feeling of being one with everything, you know, and being so reflective inside that, sometimes, sure, there's some mega disasters coming, but the whole is the peace of the whole is never actually disturbed. You know,
absolutely.
There's that depth to it, the serenity.
Totally. And like you said, like the peace of the whole is never we keep on doing the destructive thing. I mean, as long as the human race needs to learn that, we'll keep on going through cycles of destruction. It's not going to worry. It's not going to change. But at the same time, it doesn't matter how much destruction we go through. They're not going to remain changed. They're going to keep on doing what they're doing. They've done it for millions of years. Why would they change now?